A man of sorrows. Think about that. Jesus came down into this death cult, the fallen system. Adam and Eve dropped us down into the second law of thermodynamics, sin. That's why everything falls apart. Everything's going into disarray, and then it's being reorganized because of the cross. So everything's going into disorder, but man is trying to bring it into order, but only God brings it into order through the blood of his cross. So think about a righteous, holy, set-apart Savior walking down here in the middle of people trying to take him out, you know. He did nothing wrong, and then they wanted to take him out, crucify him. And every human being would have until you get saved. You think about it. All the people who chose Barabbas over Jesus to be set free, that tells you right there, the crowd, they were just going by the crowd, you know. If the crowd's doing it, it's probably bad. If everybody's doing it, it's usually a bad thing. Just because everybody's doing it don't mean it's good. Because just think about it. Everybody wanted to see Jesus stay on the cross while Barabbas was set free, right? The piece of wood, the pole upright, and then it had another piece of wood, the pole, the cross, the upright, the tree, the piece of wood. That's why when I say the snake nailed to the pole, it's the stake nailed to the cross is a big deal, you know. And so when you take up your cross daily, that's what this is about. And then when you got people around you who try to pull you back into, go with the crowd, go with the world, everybody's doing it, you're like, get out of my face. And then, you know, it might be family, friends, somebody they think that everybody's doing it, so let's do it. And it's like, I don't think so. When you start cutting the music off, the TV, even the doom scrolling, cutting off all the wasted time, and you start to meditate on the truths more, and your mind is not distracted with the cares of this life. Everybody's got cares of this life, but you minimize it as much as possible, you know, or you just get it done, you know, make it happen. 2 months ago, I started getting my car ready, new tires, new brakes. I started getting ready for rideshare again. I took a year off of rideshare, and in a way it was healthy, in a way it wasn't. But in a way it was good to get the rest, and I was able to study some medical stuff and go through a little window of learning something else. But I'm back on track, and I'm sitting here thinking about man of sorrow. So people, it could be bloodline, it could be marriage, it could be friends, family, relationship, whatever, that there's usually a separation because of faith, of your beliefs, your belief system. There's usually a separation. And people try to bring you back under bondage and slavery. You're free as a bird, and people try to bring you back under bondage. I don't think so. Apostle Paul was free. He was a tent maker. He was free as a bird. If you're free spiritually, you want to be free in the 3D. And so let freedom reign, not only in the physical, but the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the financial, every aspect of your life. Freedom. 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 And the good thing about doing rideshare is you talk to all kinds of people and you see what other people are going through and what they're doing. Like the other day, a guy came from Texas. He's a chef, and the retirement community, the 3 chefs that worked at the retirement community just quit. They just quit. So they had to fly him up from Texas. I'm sure they paid him more extra money or something to be a chef up here for a while until they hired some people. Why did all 3 quit? Must be something going on with the company, you know. People don't learn from their mistakes, but it seems like the persecution is still here, but it's more subtle. It's more subtle. And the way the world tries to pull you back into its clutches blows your mind. And it's tried every trick in the book, right? It's tried every trick in the book. And then until there's no more than the tricks. And so they throw one out here, throw a trick to pull you back into see that carnival? That's what the world is. It's a merry-go-round. It's just around and around and around and around and around. There's got to be a tilt-a-whirl over there somewhere. Let's see if there's a tilt. Let me go over there and see if there's a tilt-a-whirl. Because that's what you're in. You're in as the world turns. Tilt-a-whirl. W-H-I-R-L. As the world turns. Tilt-a-whirl. So, as the world turns, the devil's trying to make you into a copy of himself, but God is trying to make you into a copy of Jesus. And you can't choose right over wrong unless you get saved and you got the Holy Spirit. Yeah, there it is. It's a different name though. It's called scat. It's called scat. Scat too. Instead of tilt-a-whirl, it's called scat. Ain't that crazy? See it right there? Scat, what is that about? Then you got the Ferris wheel. That's what this, and if you've been, when you were a kid, you went to the circus or the fair or whatever they call it now. And after you do it, after you get older, you say, I don't want to do that no more. Then they still got the merry-go-round with the horses. I ain't been to a fair and who knows when. And you got the tents. So you got the world going around, and you got tents, and the word tent goes back to temple. Tent. Israel had, it's called a fair, Labor Day weekend fair, you know. And so the tent, the fair, the merry-go-round, the tilt-a-whirl, as the world turns, it's all the same. Every day, that's what this life is. And so if you see this stuff, and if you've got people around you, friends, family, spouse, whatever, you try to yoke up with somebody who can't see it, they're going to call you crazy. And so there's going to be, look at that. Today, just now, 30 minutes ago, somebody asked me to go to the wine and design art get together, and it says art on the back of this. It's $39 Sunday at 6 o'clock. Wine. No, it's sip and design or something. Wine and design, but it's sip and paint. Oh, it's a sip and paint. That's what it's called. Bring your own drink. Sip and paint. No hard liquor, just wine. But they said that you can bring a Coke or a tea or whatever, water, whatever you want to drink. They're teaching people how to paint. I said, I might show up. I might just show up. I might sign up and show up. Anyway, see that right there? The snake on the pole. The snake on the pole. See it? And it's actually got a cross and a pole. The snake on the pole. The snake on the cross. And so, look at that. Mary Kay. What does that mean? Mary Kay means makeup, paint, outward show. I just talked about paint. Painted face system. Carnivals. Merry-go-round. Invited to sip and paint. Beauty school. My point is, the same truth is happening everywhere. You got the world, which is the world, the flesh, and pride of life, which is just distractions and bells and whistles and merry-go-rounds and painted faces and paint this and go here and facade. The front looks good, but the inside is nothing but fighting. Like somebody's got a nice, let's say they get the front looking good and the yard looks good, but inside they're fighting and miserable and unhappy. And what's the purpose? Okay, so they remodeled that house, made the front yard, but nobody's happy on the inside. What's that about? Outward show. The world system is all about the outside. Outward show, image, rule. Religion is rule-based living. It's not born again. It's performance. You got to perform. You got to do something. Like if a man marries a legalistic woman, she's going to have a honey-do list this long. He gets off work all day and she's got this honey-do list. And he's saying, I'm going to sleep. I'm tired, I'm going to sleep. Because she's a legalist. If you're a legalist, it applies in your job, your church, your life. You don't want somebody to rest. You always have to put them back under rules or laws or expectations, or you got to match up to this expectation. Do this, touch not, taste not, do this, do this, do this, do this. And so my point back to man of sorrows, when you wake up to it and you're not a part of the system anymore, it's very sad. When you take up your cross, they're attacking you. They're persecuting you. They're making up stuff, lying about you, because you're not in the religion. You're not in the Pentecostal cult. You're not in the Methodist denomination of methods. You're not in the legalistic Baptist church. I'm sure there's Baptists that are not legalists, but you're not in a denomination anymore. It's just faith alone. I got a vine hanging on to my... Cut that vine down. Look, I was trimming this little tree right here, these trees right here. And the next day, I cut all these down so when she parks right here, she won't get all beat up with the trees. And the next day it was brown, Anyway, man of sorrows. It's a real thing. And when you experience it, that everybody's still blind or everybody's still in legalism or AI flesh mind, or they're running on a program and don't even know they're in a program. When you wake up to it, and everybody else is still asleep, it's really sad. And you just have to take it one day at a time. And when people come up to you, you're not from here anymore. And they're all excited about the merry-go-round of life, and the Ferris wheel of life, and the tilt-a-whirl, and the news, and the media, and the events, the weather, and they're all excited about something that's just a repeat. And when you see the repeat, and nobody else can see it, it's very sad. It's very sad.